Imagine you meet somebody online, you're talking to them for a while, they seem really cool, and you're really expecting the first date to go well. You have something kind of planned, very simple, but then things just go crazy. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We got 3 stories for you coming up right now.
Welcome to the Kiss the Frog Show.
All right, so
Hey.
I am Ed, and this is...
It's your girl, Shivak.
And this is for...
Entertainment purposes only, so please do your own research.
Yep, this is helpful entertainment, right,
Yes,
Shirak?
of
We just
course.
want people to hear these stories. These are based on true stories and kind of hear what's going on, and hopefully it'll help you in your chase for love. So, with that said, we got 3 stories today. We're going to jump right into it, and then we'll do a quick reaction after each story. Here's story number 1.
Story number 1. The surprise plus one that was not human. Derek had done everything right. He showered twice. He wore the good shoes. He even practiced answers in the mirror that didn't mention his ex, his podcast idea, or crypto. He was meeting Allison for their first date at a casual outdoor brewery. Safe, public, low pressure. The date started great. Allison was funny, quick-witted, and laughed with her whole body. They bonded over bad reality TV and mutual hatred of parking meters. Derek thought, wow, this might actually go somewhere. Then Allison casually said, oh, just so you know, my dog might swing by. Derek smiled. Oh, cool. I like dogs. He did not know what he had just agreed to. 10 minutes later, Allison's friend showed up, holding a leash attached to what can only be described as a small, furious demon wrapped in fur. The dog immediately lunged at Derek's ankles like it had unfinished business with him from a past life. Oh, that's Muffin, Allison said cheerfully. Muffin barked like a car alarm that had discovered caffeine. Derek laughed nervously. Haha, friendly? Allison nodded. She just hates men. Muffin proved this by attempting to climb Derek's leg while growling. The bartender awkwardly asked them to keep the dog under control. Allison apologized, then tied the leash to Derek's chair for some reason. This was mistake number 1. Every time Derek moved, Muffin reacted like he was attempting a robbery. Patrons stared. A child cried. Derek tried to power through. But then Muffin jumped onto the table and knocked over Allison's drink, soaking Derek's pants. Oh my God, she never does that, Allison said, laughing. Derek was damp, embarrassed, and being actively judged by a dog. Then Allison leaned in and said, so, how do you feel about kids? Derek paused. I mean, someday. She nodded thoughtfully. Good. Muffin doesn't like kids either. At that exact moment, Muffin snapped the leash, sprinted across the brewery, and knocked over a tray of drinks. The entire place went silent. Allison chased the dog. Derek stayed seated, pretending this was not his life. 5 minutes later, Allison returned, breathless. She's okay, but I think we should head out. Derek stood up, pants still wet, dignity gone. They hugged goodbye while Muffin barked aggressively at his knees. Allison smiled. Text me. Derek never did. To this day, whenever his friends suggest outdoor dates, Derek just says, only if dogs sign a consent form.
That was cute. And what do you think? You go first.
That was definitely unexpected. That was definitely
Yeah, I mean,
unexpected,
come on.
so-
You know your dog's aggressive. I bet you she was probably thinking, well, maybe if my dog doesn't like nobody, but maybe he doesn't like men, but maybe if she likes this one, then this is the one. You know, I bet you she was thinking something like wacky
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that.
Yeah,
okay.
and she definitely should be protecting Derek, right? Because if
Yeah.
that dog would have bit Derek, and Derek would...
Who brought the dog? Get that dog out of here.
Yeah, but you have to think about it too. If the dog is going to be part of the relationship, you got to see if they can mingle with that. So you...
Maybe another time, but if you know your dog hates, I bet you she was thinking some like Cinderella thing that this dog suddenly like men. If they don't like men, they don't like men. There's other, I don't want to get into it. You can train the dog. There's other things you can do, but that's just whacked. Give the guy a heads up, man.
Exactly. So it's either me or the dog. I'm sorry. But like you said, Derek never texts back, and he was smart not to text back.
Yep. You guys ready for story number 2? Let's see if this one gets into a dog situation.
Maybe a cat.
Story number 2, the date that turned into a job interview and a therapy session. Melissa was cautiously optimistic. She'd matched with Jordan online, and he seemed promising. Stable job, funny texts, and he used punctuation, which in modern dating is basically a PhD. They decided on dinner at a nice mid-range restaurant. Jordan arrived early. Green flag. He pulled out her chair. Green flag. They ordered drinks, and Melissa thought, okay, this might be normal. It stopped being normal immediately. So, Jordan said, leaning forward, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Melissa laughed.
Okay.
Ha, what? He smiled seriously. I'm big on long-term planning. She tried to recover. Hopefully happy? Jordan nodded and pulled out his phone.
Excuse me.
He opened his notes app. I have some questions, he said. Melissa blinked. Questions? Yes, I like to be efficient. He started reading. What's your credit score range?
Oh, no.
Melissa nearly choked on her drink. I'm sorry, what? He waved it off.
Say what?
Ballpark. She stared at him. Why? Well, he said calmly, I don't want to waste time. Melissa laughed, assuming it was a joke. It was not. He continued. How do you feel about conflict? Do you shut down or attack? Attack? Emotionally, he clarified, obviously. The waiter returned to take their order, sensing danger. Melissa ordered quickly, hoping food would ground reality. Jordan waited until the waiter left. Tell me about your relationship with your father. Melissa froze.
What?
I'm sorry, is this a date or intake paperwork? Jordan nodded. Both. Then, without warning, Jordan began talking about his ex for 40 minutes.
Good job.
He detailed her flaws, her texts, her tone, her refusal to grow with him. He showed screenshots. Melissa sat there nodding, chewing bread like it was a coping mechanism. Finally, she tried to redirect. So, what do you like to do for fun? Jordan smiled. I like analyzing people. Her soul left her body. When the food arrived, Jordan stared at her plate. Interesting choice, he said. That says a lot. She put her fork down. About what? Your impulse control. Melissa stood up. I'm so sorry, she said politely, but I don't think this is a match. Jordan looked shocked. Why not? We're making great progress.
Yeah.
She grabbed her coat. This feels like a performance review, he sighed. That's what my ex said. Melissa paid her portion and walked out, feeling like she'd just escaped a corporate merger. Later that night, Jordan texted, Thanks for the feedback. Wishing you growth. She blocked him immediately. Her friends now refer to it as the HR date.
That's why I used to
date.
block right away. All right, you go first, but I'm dying to say something.
I actually went on a date and someone did ask about the credit score because I guess they don't want to repeat the cycle of having those relationships. So they really want something like the opposite with that. So it's like, but it wasn't the first date, but like we was on the phone for like maybe the second or third time. They said, oh, we just got a credit score. And they really don't want it just for you to say it. They want proof. So they let me see.
Let me go on. Go AI create fake credit karma 880.
Exactly. But it's interesting. But it's definitely seemed like sometimes when you are on the dating sites, you know, you have to ask certain questions, but not on the first date.
I'm disappointed in her. She should have turned that thing around and said, okay, now that you give me the interview, let me tell you if you got the job. You didn't get the job, and let me tell you why. Well, first of all, to hold on to your ex's things, all these texts and images and stuff, that's just, she should have just spent 40 minutes going off, but of course, she just want, I'd be like that too. I just want to get the heck out of there.
Just get out of there. Don't waste your time. Time is too valuable to be going back and forth. And when you know it's not definitely a great fit.
Yeah. These were two really different but interesting first dates. The first one was definitely, I'm sure, talking to a person didn't know about the dog. The second one, it's kind of hard. Sometimes you just want to meet somebody. You don't want to have a long interaction, but it's too bad that wasn't picked up earlier. But hey, what are you going to do? It's not her fault. All right. You guys ready for our last one? Let's see what this one's going to
Yeah,
be all
let's
about.
see.
Story number 3. The first date featuring a dog, a lie, and a bathroom without towels.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Another
didn't
dog
intend to
again.
lie. I want that on record right away. It wasn't malicious. It was one of those small, conversational lies that sneaks out because you want to seem interesting instead of deeply average. It happened during messaging when Taylor asked, "Do you like dogs?" Now, I don't dislike dogs. I respect dogs. From a distance. Preferably through glass. But what I typed was, "Love them." This decision would later return like karma wearing muddy paws. Taylor suggested we meet at a park and grab coffee from a nearby stand. "I'll bring my golden retriever," she
Oh,
wrote.
those are nice.
I responded with enthusiasm that was at least 60% manufactured and 40% fear. I showed up early to prepare emotionally. I practiced smiling in my car mirror and Googled things like how to act natural around dogs. My research mostly said relax, which is advice people give when they don't
Touch the
understand the
dog.
stakes. Then I saw them approaching. Taylor looked great, easy smile, casual jacket, and beside her was what I can only describe as a large, joyful cloud of fur moving at enthusiastic speed. The dog locked onto me like I was the final boss in a video game. "This is Max," she said. Max agreed, launching himself upward. I attempted to greet him calmly, which resulted in me making a sound that was not a word but more of a surprised vowel. He placed both paws squarely on my chest, leaving dirt prints like he was signing artwork. Taylor laughed. I laughed. Max attempted to lick my face. I negotiated for personal space. We got coffee and started walking. Conversation was going well. Work, travel, hobbies, and I began relaxing. Max trotted happily between us. For a moment, I thought, hey, maybe I am a dog person. Then Max stopped, squatted, and Taylor handed me the leash. "Can you hold him a second?" This is how I found myself making intense eye contact with a dog mid-situation while pretending I understood my role in this process. I held the leash like it was complicated machinery. People walked by. Time slowed. She handled cleanup with efficiency while I stood there guarding Max like we were lifelong partners in responsibility. When she came back, she thanked me. I nodded with the solemn pride of someone who had survived a minor quest. About 20 minutes later, disaster struck again, but this time courtesy of coffee. I needed a restroom, so we stopped at a small cafe. I went in, washed my hands, and discovered the paper towel dispenser was empty. No dryer, no napkins, just me and dripping hands. I did what anyone would do, the awkward shake and air dry combo. Unfortunately, as I exited, a final drop of water launched off my fingertips directly onto Taylor's sleeve. I apologized immediately. She reassured me it was fine. Max attempted to console everyone by tangling the leash around my legs. I did not fall, but I performed another interpretive stumble, apparently my signature move, and grabbed a chair for balance. The chair scraped loudly. A nearby couple stared. Max wagged proudly, believing he'd created joy. We wrapped up the walk shortly after. Despite everything, we'd laughed constantly. Real laughs, not polite ones. Before leaving, Taylor said, "You handled Max pretty well." I smiled, choosing honesty at last. Full confession, I'm actually kind of intimidated by dogs. She grinned. I figured when you greeted him like he was a live grenade. We both laughed again. No second date followed, schedules drifted, life moved on. But I drove home oddly satisfied. Because first dates aren't auditions for perfection. They're unpredictable little experiments where you discover how someone reacts when reality goes off script. And sometimes reality involves muddy paw prints, airborne water droplets, and the humbling moment you realize love for dogs should never be exaggerated on the internet. Lesson learned. Next time, I'm telling the truth. Probably.
Probably you
Well,
should tell the
it
truth.
should have been a guy's voice, but he basically, because, Sometimes guys say, hey, they're really good looking. I think I'll forego this. I can deal with the dog. Hey, he's got more experience with a dog too. So that might give him more encouragement to say, yeah, I like dogs. I don't want that's not, but that one didn't sound too bad. It just sounded like he muddled through it. It wasn't bad. It's just sad there wasn't a second date.
Yeah, it could have been a second date. I think that one was not as awful as the other ones I heard today. So that was pretty good.
that was pretty good. That's almost sad there wasn't. There should have been a second date, but maybe she was looking for somebody more. Maybe that was a confidence thing. Because I think one or the other, even though they laughed, obviously there's probably still wasn't a little connection there.
Yeah, they should have tried to just say, let's have a second date just to see how that go. But it was definitely stuff that was just barricaded inside. They basically lied about how they like things. And, you got to be truthful when you first date someone, because remember, you might be spending your life with this person.
Yeah. Or at the very least, long periods of time, if you date for a while. So, yeah, always be honest. That's the real deal. So before we let you guys go, please subscribe. Please. We're not having people subscribing. Please subscribe. Share your story. If you want to share your story, we will read it on air, but we're not going to do any revenge type of stories. So if you send us that, we're going to ignore it. But yeah, we want to hear from you. So definitely send us what you got. And any final words?
Yes, just thank you for watching. And if you're, like Ed said, if you have any interesting stories, please just have them in our comment section as well. And then just go to our email.
Let us know what you think about these stories. Yeah. If you like the format, let us know. And until next time,
kiss the frogs.
Be careful kissing those frogs. All right. Bye.
Hope to see you next time on Kiss the Frogs.